In football, big contracts are risky business. When a player performs like Mohamed Salah at Liverpool, no one questions the money. He asked for a huge deal and backed it up with goals and trophies worth every cent. But when do the performances drop? That same contract becomes a nightmare. The club can't sell the player, and the player won't leave millions on the table. It's a lose-lose. So who are the stars stuck in football limbo? Overpaid, underperforming, and going nowhere? Let's take a look. Number 1, Jack Grealish. Once a key part of City's historic treble, Jack Grealish has looked more like a party boy than a footballer ever since. His on-pitch impact has dropped drastically and his off-pitch lifestyle is raising eyebrows. With a €100 million price tag and an €8.5 million salary until 2027, he's become one of the most untransferable players in Europe. No club wants to match that wage for someone who barely starts anymore. Right now, Grealish is more of a fashion icon than a football star. Number 2, Raheem Sterling. Sterling returned to London with Premier League medals in one hand and a €9.3 million a year contract in the other. But away from Pep Guardiola's precision system, he's looked completely lost. Once a constant goal threat, he's now drifting through games like a ghost of his former self.
95 minutes. The strategy is the plan, we follow them convinced.
Chelsea even explored a loan to Arsenal, but instead of a revival, things got worse. With his wages sky high and his form in freefall, there is barely a London club that could afford him, let alone wants him. Spurs? Even that feels like a stretch. Number 3, Gabriel Jesus. When Arsenal brought in Gabriel Jesus, the hope was that he'd bring a winning mentality from Man City and push the club to new heights. But fast forward and that dream hasn't materialized. Not only has Jesus struggled to stay fit, he's now the second choice behind Kai Havertz, and could soon fall even further down the pecking order if Arsenal land their top striker target. With a hefty €7.5 million salary and limited impact, Arsenal could soon find themselves stuck with a high-earning bench warmer. Number 4, David Alaba. When Bayern Munich let a club legend walk away for free, there is usually a reason. And in David Alaba's case, it's becoming painfully clear. Since joining Real Madrid, the Austrian defender has struggled to stay fit, constantly battling injuries that have kept him out of action. Despite flashes of brilliance, his availability has been a major concern, and with a massive €10.8 million salary and a contract running until 2026, Madrid are essentially stuck paying top dollar for a player who's rarely on the pitch. And yes, if you've made it this far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned. Now, number 5, Dusan Vlovic. Dusan Vlovic's move to Juventus came with sky-high expectations, and an even higher salary. After just a few stellar months at Fiorentina, his agent somehow landed him a €10.5 million a year deal, making him one of Serie A's top earners. But since arriving in Turin, Vlovic struggled to justify the price tag. Goals have dried up, performances have dipped, and Juventus now find themselves stuck with an underperforming striker on superstar wages. Number 6, Milan Skrinier. PSG thought they had pulled off a masterstroke by signing Milan Skrinier on a free transfer, but it quickly became clear the Slovak defender wasn't suited to life in Paris, especially under Luis Enrique's tactical system, which arrived at the same time he did. Struggling to adapt, Skrinier was eventually shipped out on loan to Fenerbahce in 2025. With a hefty €9 million salary and a contract running until 2028, PSG are now stuck paying the price for a gamble that didn't pay off. Number 7, Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry was once a key figure at Bayern Munich, but his time in the spotlight is clearly past. Now more of a bench option than a regular starter, his drop in form wouldn't be a major concern if not for his massive €10 million a year salary. With rising stars like Michael Olise earning significantly less, Gnabry's paycheck feels increasingly out of place. Still under contract until 2026, Bayern are stuck with an overpaid super sub that no other club seems willing to take off their hands. Number 8. Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford's decline at Manchester United is tough to watch, not just for fans, but for the player himself. Once seen as a future of the club, he's now stuck in a frustrating limbo, thanks in large part to his hefty 8.5 million euros a year salary. Even a dream move to Barcelona looks unlikely, with the Spanish giants unwilling to take on such a high wage. Unless Rashford accepts a significant pay cut, his options remain limited, leaving both club and player in an awkward stalemate until 2028. Number 9. Casemiro. Casemiro was supposed to be a short-term powerhouse for Manchester United, a proven winner brought in to steady the midfield and chase trophies, but his physical decline has been sharper than anyone expected. Now, with a massive 10 million euros a year salary and 2 years left on his deal, even Saudi clubs are hesitant to take him off United's hands. What was meant to be a smart signing has quickly turned into a financial headache. Number 10. Jadon Sancho. The 85 million euros ghost of Old Trafford. Once hailed as one of Europe's brightest young stars at Borussia Dortmund, Jadon Sancho's move to Manchester United has been nothing short of a catastrophe. Was it poor management, the wrong system, or did Ronaldo's arrival crush the vision Sancho was promised? Whatever the cause, the reality is brutal. Sancho is now lost in limbo, a shadow of his former self burdened by a massive wage and an even bigger question mark over his future. Even Chelsea, after a decent loan spell, refused to meet his demands. United fans are left wondering, how did it go so wrong so fast? A generational talent turned into one of the most expensive what-ifs in football history? Which of these expensive contracts do you think hurts the club the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love football content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more.